Hey, this is Greg and Janna.
And this is the Creek Worship Podcast. So we have to park our cars. I told you that staff has to go park our cars over at Harley Davidson. So when I'm doing that, I do, if it's not too bad raining, then I do grounding. So I walk back on as much grass as I can. Did you know that?
Has a term?
Grounding?
I know what grounding is, but I didn't know that's what you're...
Yeah. That's what I'll say. Let's go grounding, guys.
You're so
grounded.
Guys, go
Back
with
in
me.
Touch with nature.
Totally.
Oh, they go with you. It's a group thing.
Yeah, the guy like Nate, the guy
I don't
that played.
think they ground while
They don't do any grounding.
Oh.
It's just me. They wear their shoes. Yeah, he goes. Daniel goes over there in his car.
Okay.
Nate rides with me, the guy that played the Hammond B3.
Oh, right, because you all have to park.
Yeah, we all have to park. So then we go, after worship at the 8:30, we go move our cars, and then I walk back barefoot.
Do you think eventually they will join you in walking barefoot?
I don't think they care.
Nope.
Nope. Daniel said nope.
I think that would be the best. I think that's the content that people need.
I think we need that.
This is nice. It's super thick. There's just a little bit of dew left over. Lush. I am grounding. This is a 10 out of 10.
Let's start that now. Let's see how many people will start not only riding over there with me, but grounding as they walk back barefoot. I like it.
Somebody said he really should wear socks.
Oh my gosh.
I said, I'll be sure to tell him.
What?
I don't know.
His face.
None of their beeswax.
No, I agree.
So, Mackenzie, we have a podcast, okay?
Okay.
That's what you're doing now, just so you know.
Great.
This is Mackenzie Phillips. I'm Greg. That's my wife, Janna. And this is the Creek Worship Podcast.
And I actually have pictures of you and Lillian when you were, I don't know, 6, 7 maybe?
Very little.
You were coloring.
We were probably matching too. Because that
what were those outfits? Oh,
Matilda Jane?
Matilda, did you guys do the Matilda Janes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had a ton of those.
And my mom, being the only kid for 7 years, really tried to keep me in them for as long as she could. And I was like, Mom, a 9-year-old should probably not be wearing ruffle dresses anymore.
Exactly.
And
right.
then she was like, you were right. But
She let you go then?
Right.
After 9?
Right, after 9. But it was definitely a look back and a sigh moment. She's like, I'm sorry.
It's very cute. They're very cute. They're adorable.
I still have
little,
some to sell. I might just keep them for grandchildren.
They're adorable little outfits.
They are really
And they don't
cute.
make them anymore, right? They shut down.
I don't know about
Or
that.
she passed away or something.
Oh, did she?
I don't know. Let's not
I
start
don't know.
that rumor. We'll cut that part out.
I'm like, I don't know.
Bottom line is, we've known Mackenzie Phillips since she's
Wee
similar in
child.
age. Yeah, a wee child. And just looking back, Jan and I've talked about this so much. We talked about it this morning, I think, on the way over to church. But always so proud of you, like how hard you worked at your craft.
So I'm curious to know. So when did you, number one, when did you decide, okay, I want to sing, I'm going to sing? And
That had to be super
Then
early.
how did it go from
Yeah.
that to you were calling churches to...
Yeah.
Right.
Can I come sing?
Right. So I remember being 7 years old and telling my mom, hey, God told me I'm going to do music for him. Like,
Okay,
that's
now
what I'm gonna
let's
do.
walk that out. Let's dig into this. What does that mean?
I don't know. I just knew that I've been praying, and I grew up listening to KSBJ and the radio, and
We love KSBJ.
we love
it's our hometown
KSBJ.
station.
Yep. And I just remember God saying, like, you're going to do this. Like, that's what you're going to do. You're going to do it for me. And I was like, great.
So in your spirit, at
Yeah.
7 years, let me make sure I'm unpacking this here. You're 7 years old. Mm-hmm. So I want people who are listening to this to understand that their kids aren't too young to begin communicating with the Lord.
Yeah. No.
Remember,
never.
this is suffer the little children to come unto me. The disciples would say, "Hey, these kids are trying to get at you," and Jesus is like, "Nope, let them in. I want to talk to them. I want to communicate with them. I want to hang out with these kids." So you were hanging out with God at 7, and you felt in your spirit Him telling you,
You're going to sing.
Yeah. He was
Wow.
like, you're going to sing. And then eventually that became, you're going to write songs. And then it was like I was learning how to play piano, so it all just kind of meshed together. And obviously I didn't know what that would look like or what it meant at that time, but I told my parents, hey, God told me this.
What did Kyle and Jennifer say to that?
They were like,
Kyle and Jenna, that's the parents, by the way.
they were like,
Whom we love.
that's great, baby.
Yeah.
Go do your homework. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay,
Right, get your
like,
school done.
yeah, like, cool. I was going to be a ballerina. That's
And
big dream.
Yeah.
weren't you homeschooled at that point, too?
Yes. Or
Yeah.
I was about to be homeschooled.
Okay.
So I think I was in school for maybe 2 years after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was all I did. I wasn't really into sports a ton, but I did school and I wrote music. That's what I did.
And let's give
Wow.
a shout out to our mutual friend, Sarah Kelly.
Yes.
And
Oh,
Jonas.
yeah.
Yes.
How soon, is that where you took piano lessons? Or how
Yes.
soon? Okay. So Sarah Kelly is an amazing artist. And where we lived and worked at Woodlands Church, Jan and I worked there for 11 years. That's where you guys were going. And then Sarah came about year 2, maybe, for us.
Yeah.
And we had known Sarah before, but just got to rekindle our friendship with Sarah and her husband, Jonas. And she started this music school. And that's where you end up kind of learning piano. And then before long, you're actually teaching. Like, pretty quickly on.
Yes, it was kind of crazy. So we were going to church, and I was 7 years old, and Sarah and my mom both had red hair. And so
Oh,
we
yeah.
ran into each other, and they're like, oh my gosh, we're both ginger, so fun.
Yeah.
And, I mean, long story short, my parents were like, we really want her to learn how to play an instrument. And Sarah was like, I'd love to teach her piano. And so I ended up going to her music school, which started out of her house.
Yep.
And took lessons from her for a couple of years. She eventually was like, hey, this is how you write a song.
Yep.
You should sing, and kind of really just fed that passion for music for a long time. And then I ended up starting to teach there when I was a teenager, and helping with little kids that were my age when I started.
So
Wow.
another lesson, I think people need to pay attention to this. You're not too young to have conversations and relations with the Lord. Like, hear him, talk to him, read his word, be quiet in his presence, let him speak to you, which happened with you. And then you're a teenager, which means what, 12, 13, 11, somewhere in there. And now, yeah, you don't know everything yet, but you're already taking what you do know and teaching it down. So you're being taught from here and you're teaching, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, help other people. And here's what I think. I think God also honors that. So I think with you helping other kids who were in, some of them are in similar places that you were in, a lot of them, like Sarah says too, like this is not going to be their career like it is for you. But some of them just want to learn and be a part. And they don't know what it's going to lead. But I was so proud of you when I knew that was happening with Jonas and Sarah. Like, wow, she's now teaching other kids that are younger than she is.
Yeah.
That had to be fulfilling too.
It was amazing.
And you're getting paid, right? Like,
Right, yeah.
you're getting paid to teach.
Yeah, it was amazing to just obviously co-write with younger kids and teach them how to do it the way that Sarah did for me, and work with other genres, which helps me now
yeah.
trying to write pop or country or whatever. And then also just to show some of these kids who may not have grown up the same way I did the joy of the Lord. And the
Yes.
love of the Lord, because they maybe weren't getting that at home or at school. And so it was really a beautiful thing, and I'm really grateful for the time I had there.
So how did it go from working there and doing that to this is going to be my ministry, this is going to be a career? What did that jump look like?
Yeah, so basically I put out my first record when I was 10 with Jonas. He produced it, and it had 3 songs on it, and I would release a couple singles throughout the next couple years until I was about 14. And then I was teaching at the school, and I would have some like mini success. I remember a song got on a Spotify Easter playlist, and a couple of my songs got on like the Grammy long list thanks to Sarah and Jonas's connections. And but when I was 15, I remember just praying and kind of voicing to Sarah, you know, I feel like I've been doing this for a long time now, since
Yeah.
I was really seriously probably 9 or whatever. And I said, I really don't feel like I've seen the fruit of my labor. Even though I'm so young, I was like, I don't know how this is going to work. I don't see this working. I'm a little discouraged. And she said, okay, well, I disagree with that. I think you should keep going. Why don't we go up to Nashville and just hang out with some of my friends and see if they can also encourage you to keep going? And I thought about it, and I was like, okay, yeah, sounds fun. And so we came up to Nashville, And there were a couple people that had been Sarah's friends for a long time and had kind of watched me grow up through the music school.
Sure.
So these people that had watched me from 7 to 15 for 8 years or whatever got to see me in this new light as someone who had grown as a person and then also in my music.
Yeah.
And so they took me more seriously, and they were like, oh, this is maybe something we should watch out for. And so I met with a couple different people, all in different industries, in Christian music and in publishing or whatever. And they all offered me a different opportunity when we left that week.
Wow.
Whether it was to come up for a writing camp or come do something else. And we had lunch with the now president of my label, Goatee, and he said, well, Kenzie, I'd love if you would send me a couple demos. I'm going to be out with Toby on the boat this weekend, and I want to play him some songs. And we were like, sure, yeah.
Toby Mac, in case you wondered, which Toby?
Yes,
Mac?
yes, Toby Mac. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes. And so I sent him 2 songs I had written a couple years before that, and they ended up starting the process of signing me after I sent those songs. So it was crazy.
So while
awesome.
you're doing all that, I'm having lunch with your dad, right?
Yes.
So like her dad's like, hey, can we have lunch, Greg? I'm like, sure. So we'd be going to lunch. I remember we were at a Tex-Mex place up here. We had already moved up here, and he's talking to me about all these things going on, and like Toby Mac's, he's conversing because you're a minor at that point when you started.
Yes,
right?
which is a huge testament from my whole journey about people looking down on me because I was young.
Sure.
And they signed me at 17, which was more work than 18.
Yeah.
But it was a blessing from the Lord, and it meant so much to me.
I love that.
That they did that.
Let's talk about, by the way, I was just on the phone. Jan and I have become friends. I guess, have we ever met in person with Jamie Grace?
No,
We just talk to her all the time. I don't know if you know
think
Jamie
so.
Grace, but one of Toby's early signs on the label, and she had 2 records that like had amazing, huge songs, and
our girls loved her.
Yes, so did
I
I.
love listening to her.
so, and Jamie's going on tour this fall, Jamie Grace, and I think she's coming to this area. But another person, so that I love that about Toby Mac, where, and he's used his experience to help other people, younger artists, with their craft and like expose their music to the world, give them a platform to be heard on. So we're super pumped about that. And I remember sitting at that lunch table with your dad, and he's like, so, I mean, do you know? I'm like, listen, nothing but good things to say. Whenever we've been around him, he's always an encourager. Of course, he's walked such amazing battles of his own in his own personal life and his family, of unbelievable heartache. But I'm so glad that he is on the Mackenzie Phillips train as it leaves the station, so to speak.
Yes, me too.
Let's talk about your parents and your family dynamic, because it's a unique dynamic, right?
Yeah.
And your dad, which one of them came, maybe they both came to Christ a little bit, like they weren't kids when they found Christ, so to speak?
No, so my parents grew up in church when they were younger, but didn't continue that walk into young adulthood and adulthood, and so got married and were kind of just living for themselves, and then had me about a year later, and they always say that it was the Lord's protection over me, because they say they were not checked in. So I was like, thank you, Jesus. but yeah, kind of just living for themselves and for the world. And when I was 5, we went to a church, and I just fell in love with my Sunday school teacher, like my shepherd. Wow. And I was like, oh my gosh, we have to go back. Like, Mr. Randall's expecting me. And so they were like, I guess we'll go back to church. Like, okay. And so that's kind of how they got plugged in. And my parents have a beautiful testimony. They had miscarriages for 7 years and couldn't explain it, both in pretty healthy conditions, so just doctors didn't understand. And once they got plugged into a church and started tithing and really falling in love with the Lord, they got pregnant with my brother 2 months later. Yeah. So it's
and now there
beautiful.
are.
Yes, now I'm the oldest of 6 kids. Yeah. So I have 5 younger siblings.
Let me brag on you for this, because Jan and I we've talked about it down through the years. You became, because you're 7 years till the next, right? 7 years. But you were like this big sister that really helped take care, because you were homeschooling.
Mm-hmm.
You're teaching at Sarah Kelly's music school. You're doing your homeschool, and then you're helping because there's so many kids now.
Yeah.
You'd be helping, and you like, I know your mom would tell us like, I've got to take her phone away again, right? Like you're a normal kid in that regard. We're all gonna
Yes.
get. But I just want to brag on you in that it was so cool to see you loving your younger siblings,
Yeah.
looking out for them, taking care of them to help your mom, and it's a special. If you get to meet the Phillips family, you have a special family.
I do.
And we have only love and respect for them.
I just was thinking about how many years we were all in the same small group together.
Yeah, life group. That's
That's
right.
where we
With-
kind of
Right.
got to know your parents.
That's true.
and
Is that where it was? Is that where
I-
that kind of started?
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Sean, yeah, McEvely's.
And then eventually that group got so big and there were so many kids.
yeah.
That was a long time ago, but
Wow.
I remember your mom talking about those years of loss and
Yeah.
how difficult that had to be. But your family is very special. And do you guys still have that van sprinter thing that
So
you traveled?
There's talk
terrible.
About, yeah.
Terrible story. So my parents, we have a Sprinter van because there are so many of us Phillips people, and it was my mom's car, so
Right.
that was her daily drive. But after I moved, they really didn't use it a ton because my grandfather lives with us, so he could help drive, and then my dad was home, so they weren't using the van a lot. And so they're like, we should rent it to people to
Oh,
use for vacations
like
or whatever.
Turo or whatever.
Exactly.
Oh, smart.
And so they start renting the van probably a year ago, which has its own battles. But the most recent trip it went on, somebody got bad gas in Alabama or somewhere, and it broke down, and they left it there. And
I don't even know this story.
and they were like, we didn't get the bad gas. It must have been someone else. But we can track it. And we were like, we can see where you got bad gas. They were like, what gas station did you stop at? And they're like, we don't know. I was like, how do you... Okay, so our van has been broken down
Sitting somewhere.
in Louisiana now because it got towed somewhere, but not all the way home for maybe 3 months now.
No.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's like, who's going to pay to fix the van?
If they want to donate it to the Greg and Janna Ministry, I will get it fixed.
They probably
it's a beautiful
will.
van.
They probably
Oh, my
would.
goodness.
So our van's not with us right now. May
Only the
may it
Lord
rest.
knows.
Only, yes.
Only the Lord knows.
We will see.
So
what
wait,
happens.
do you live in Nashville now?
I do. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
I've lived
Full-time.
in Nashville for about 2 years.
Okay.
Coming up, I guess 2 years.
How do you like it?
I love it there.
Do you?
It's beautiful.
What I think is
It
that
is
it's
pretty.
cool that she lives there, but she still considers this her home church.
Sure.
To
Yes,
me,
of course.
that is really special. So
So what's something you've learned about the music industry, like since you've grown a little bit older, you've moved to Nashville? Because we would get asked this a lot in years past, but like what's something you surprised you or you didn't know until you were like full throttle in it?
So I have a serious one and then a funny one. My serious one is probably that it's just normal people, kind of like us. Like I think sometimes, especially growing up and being so passionate about Christian music and really looking up to all the artists and everything that entailed, I always thought it was so removed from like normal life, like average people. And now that I'm kind of in those circles and get to hang out with some of these people that I've looked up to for so long, like Toby, I'm like, oh, these are just people that love the Lord. And this is just where the Lord's brought them.
Yeah.
And I think that's so beautiful. And so that's something that I've definitely learned. A funny thing that I've learned is that a lot of musicians and artists are not type A. They are very
Right, which
type
you're
B.
type A.
I am type
Yes.
A. I love a plan. I love to be organized. I love details. And sometimes I'm like, oh, the tour bus leaves tonight and I don't even know where I'm supposed to go.
right.
I'm like, where's the address? Where? And they're
Right.
like, we'll get that to you ASAP. I'm
Right.
like, oh my gosh.
That's very relative.
Yes.
ASAP is very relative.
Yes, and so that's been a huge hurdle that I've had to overcome. But the Lord is good, and He is definitely working on that within me
Yeah.
to Just it's gonna be okay. We're gonna get where we need
Traveling
Yeah.
takes. Janna and I talk about this because, of course, Janna was in the band called Truth before Avalon, and then I, as a solo artist, like in that situation, I'm kind of the boss, so it'll be run the way I want it to. But then going to Avalon, you got the 4 people, you got all those things, and if people are uptight, right, it can make traveling not good. And so we'll talk about like, well, so and so, but they were just always uptight about everything, be it in Truth or in Avalon or whatever, and it could be a band member or whatever. And the approach is, hey, we're always going to know. We're not going to leave somebody, or So you're right. You have to learn. You've had to learn how to just kind of go, okay.
Yes.
So they're going to let me know when they let me know.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I used to say the 23 hours made the 1 hour on the stage or platform either a win or a lose, because if you're incredibly talented but you're awful to travel with, or you have a bad attitude, or you can't be flexible, or you run your mouth about everybody, like it makes that 1 hour not work.
absolutely. Well, and most times you're in a bus,
Yeah.
like with 12 people in close quarters.
Yeah.
And so if one person just has a terrible vibe,
Yeah.
it feels like it's so draining.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, oh my goodness, which just speaks to so many other things, right? It's like, I need to spend my time alone with the Lord so that I can be filled with joy and happiness, so I'm around other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just, it plays into so many things.
Yeah.
But yeah, divas on tour can be difficult.
Yeah.
It can be difficult.
Don't be a diva.
Don't be a
There's
diva.
hashtag there.
Who's the most, hold on, let me ask you this. Who's the most famous person you've met or seen since you've been in Nashville? Because like when we lived there, it was very common for Faith Hill to go to the Target there in Cool Springs.
Right. I'm pretty sure I've seen Carrie Underwood before in a
Okay.
store. I think I've seen her in a Publix once.
Okay.
But
store?
right, good store. I don't know. I'm trying to think who else.
'Cause that's very
this is
common
a
in
really
Nashville.
random. This is a really random story. I was at dinner one time in Franklin, and did y'all as girls ever watch a show called Good Luck Charlie?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
The mom that plays Amy Duncan, I met her at dinner
Nice.
once,
I'm going to tell my girls today.
and I just remember my jaw dropped. I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's Amy Duncan!" Like, oh my, like I don't know her real name. I
Yeah.
just knew her character name, and she was the nicest person ever. But I was
That's
freaking out.
nice.
I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
It's nice when people that you admire or you've enjoyed their work are nice, because we've also had you meet people that you think you wanted to meet and then they were just not very nice.
You're like, I wish I
the
wouldn't
I
have met
won't
them.
mention any names, but
I wish I wouldn't have met them.
right.
Oh yeah, don't meet your heroes.
That's what they say.
So we'll talk a little bit about your songs, but before we do, because you've got a song that's just coming out. But and I said the same. I give the same message to people like Cade Thompson when Cade's here. Who else?
Yvette.
Younger
Yeah,
artist
Yvette.
Yvette Luna when she's here. But Yvette still lives here. Cade pretty much is in Nashville. Yvette is here, and we'll go back and forth.
Okay.
But I'm going to give you the same thing that people told me as I moved from South Dakota in a very small environment. You're not in a small environment being in the Houston area, but going to be by yourself. When I moved to Nashville and I've got this deal, and then I'm surprised. I'll just be honest. I was surprised the way a lot of people live their lives. And I would think to myself, like, wow, that's not how we live. In my home church, we don't live like this. And I would get to Nashville and so many people, I would be like, wow, and I'm like the oddball. Mm-hmm. I'm like the odd guy out because I don't live like this. I don't participate in these type of things. And so I'm going to admonish you because you've been there a year or whatever, but man, with the fire that I see, that we've always seen in you, but don't let anything extinguish that, which is not about a specific thing. Oh, I don't do this and I don't do that. God is a God of yes, right? Like he has things planned that he wants us to do. But I'm just telling you, starting to compromise in little areas is exactly that. There'll be a little thing, then it's two little things, and then it begins to snowball. And if you're not careful in a relationship with the Lord, it becomes incredibly compromised. And I just want to encourage you, because I see the fire in you. If we spend time with the Lord, that stuff will take care of itself. I was telling in the green room last week, I think it was, well, I want to get rid of this habit. I want to stop doing this. If our focus is on the things that I don't want to do in my life, the negatives that I want to get rid of, my focus is wrong. What my focus should be is I want to draw closer to Christ. Then he will give me the strength for the negative things that are going to fall off. But whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right and just, I want to think on those things and draw closer to him. I see that in you, and I'm just admonishing you, don't lose it. Don't lose it. Don't let anybody or anything take away, or things you're going to read. Watch what you read, what I fill my mind with. I've seen it happen to so many people, and some of them literally just don't believe it anymore. They don't believe it anymore. And I'm talking the basic stuff of Scripture. And so Jan and I love what we see in you, and we want to encourage you in that. Stay in love with Jesus, pursue him. The only regrets that I have in my life are times when I've stopped pursuing him. I never regret pursuing him. The only regret I would have was when I took a break from pursuing him, because he always is a rewarder, giving me way more than I deserve. And so I want to encourage you in that, as you live in that town, in the industry, to continue. It sounds weird, but you're able to be a light inside of a Christian industry.
Absolutely.
Which can sound weird. Our dear friend Kate as well, beautiful, just beautiful light. He believes it. Yvette, they believe what they're singing about. I was literally on a private helicopter with another artist. Okay. And I'm not going to name any names. And he literally we were doing interviews, and we're on this helicopter flying, and he looks at me. He goes, we're talking. He goes, "You really believe all this, don't you?"
Wow.
And you would know this person's name. And I'm like, yes. Kind of like, and you don't, but I guess he didn't. You know what I mean? And it was like a job, and it was like, I'm an artist. I get to do these things and fly my private helicopters. And I'm like, Jesus is what I want to be about.
Yeah.
I want to be about him, because I've seen what he's done for me. I know what he's done for me. And, I don't want to lose that. And I'm happy to say, as you were here, you come to the church and see it now. Man, I'm as fired up today as I was when my first song went to #1. Probably more so. I'm probably more fired up now than I've ever been. And I'm just saying, don't lose that. It's in you. Don't lose that. And I know your parents are prayer people too, and they're going to look out for you as well. But this is your uncle and aunt over here.
Yeah.
Right? Your God's family telling you that too. Okay, so talk to us about your song. You got a new song.
Yes.
And it talks about God being good.
Sir. Yeah, it's called Still a Good God. And, I've been very fortunate and very blessed to never walk through any trauma or insane grief in my own life. But I have watched my mom and my best friend go through extreme grief and deep loss, and just unanswered questions and times where hope just seemed lost. And I kind of wrote this song about that, because even in those dark times, I saw something even greater. I saw their choice to trust God, even when it seemed hopeless. And so that's exactly what this song is about. It says, even when things don't seem good, God, I believe you're still a good God. And
I recognize that part of your lyric. I paid attention to that part
yes.
of your lyric.
Was it just you? Did somebody write it with you?
So I came in with that line specifically,
Okay.
and then most of the verse and it was my first write ever in Nashville. So I
wow.
hadn't moved yet. I hadn't done any co-writes in Nashville, but my A&R came with me because I was like, what am I doing? He was like, I'll go with you. It'll be great. And so all 4 of us got in a room, and I was like, well, I have this song idea. I don't know if it's good or garbage is what I always say. I'm like, y'all tell me. And so I played it, and they're like, oh my gosh, we got to finish that.
Aww.
And so my first write ever in Nashville, we wrote, at the time it was called A Good God. Now it's called Still a Good God.
Yep.
And so it's just really special. The meaning, how I wrote it, who I wrote it with. So yeah.
So today, the third song in the worship set was King of My Heart, which of course ends with that You Are Good, Good. And as we're, I don't know if you noticed him being there, because you were over there, but as we're singing You Are Good, You're Never Gonna Let Me Down, okay, this is what church work is like. I'm looking down, and literally right in front of us is a guy that we do some work with, and he's going through like serious cancer, like the prognosis was not good. So I don't know if you noticed, you probably didn't notice, at that service when I took to the announcement video, I walked down the steps and then hugged his neck and said, what's up? He's going to have surgery on Thursday. Okay. And so, but I'm seeing him literally in front of me. This is what I'm talking about for worship teams. And I'm going, you're never going to let me down. And I'm going, is that what he thinks right now? Is he going, you're never going to let me down? And I love what your song does, because that honest struggle of, this may get me, this cancer may get me.
Yeah.
And I think what we have to rely on and look to is back to the Word of God, right? When Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego are about to go in the furnace and be extinguished, if you will, their lives. And then they go, but God can deliver us. And then the line everybody knows, and everybody talks about it because it's a great line, but even if he doesn't, right? So your mom, whatever you saw deal with these how many babies that are, right? You go, okay, even in that, I always reference Paul's in prison in chains, and he's praising God in the middle of that. Praise him in the storm. Mark Hall with Casting Crowns, right? Praise him in the storm when everything's blowing around, whipping around all this struggle. That's the part where the reality of Christianity, they'll say, well, you're just sugarcoating it. No, we're not. Jesus was nailed to the cross. Okay? We're not saying you give your life to Christ and there are no problems.
Right.
We're saying when you go through the problems, because you're going to, I want nobody else ride with me. I want to have God with me on my side. And so when you're thinking about that song as a whatever teen-year-old, you're in your teens, you got that inspiration, you go to and you think about, you reference your mom and these other people that you're thinking about, and you come up with this beautiful song. Now we're going to do a little shapeshifter. What is the thing where the cars turn into like Transformers. And then we're going to bring that beautiful, really high-end keyboard over here.
Oh gosh.
Can you play and sing it?
Yeah.
Yay! All right.
Transformers.
So, Mackenzie Phillips, you have blessed us today, and we wanted to hear a little bit of your new song, which we've been listening to via streaming services, and we just heard the story about how you wrote it. But if you're cool, just to play and sing a little bit of it for us, whatever you want.
Yeah, I'll play a little bit. I've been lost, I've been found, I've met love, I've met doubt, but I've never felt the way I do right now. Insecure, anxious heart, can't slow down, racing thoughts, overwhelmed, and I don't know where I should start. Will you meet me here? The world may give me trouble, life
Oh, yay!
Thank you.
The little girl from the trampoline now is singing like a queen.
No, good. She's a
she
poet.
rhymes.
She didn't even know
She
it.
rhymes. You should write songs, Janna.
Oh, no, I shouldn't. Trust me. That is not my gifting.
So,
Wow, great
as
job.
we-
It's really pretty. Sound
As
great.
we come to the end here a little bit in the podcast, whatever, but somebody looking, some kid somewhere, who already loves your music or whatever, or they're just discovering it. What's your encouragement like? What camera would it be? This one?
That one.
Yeah, you go to that, but just look in there and encouragement any way you want to, and maybe it's not music, whatever it is in life, or maybe it's just encouragement in the Lord. But talk to them. They're younger than you are because you walked an amazing life, and God used you earlier on. Whatever's on your heart.
Yeah. I think I would just encourage you to dream big, and I think it's in 2 Timothy that it says, "Don't let those look down upon you because you're young." And I would say just really wear that on your sleeve and write that on your heart because it's so true. And it's a testament to my life and other people's lives. Yeah, you can do anything because we serve a big God. And so if he wants you to do it, it'll happen.
Amen.
Love that. Well, we love you, and we're
Yes,
so
very
proud of you.
Very proud.
We're proud of what you're doing, but we're proud of who you are. And also then we give shout outs to your mom and dad because we know they're such a great part of that journey, and they always supported you and loved you. And I love the fact that even you have these dreams, they're like, that's great, get your homework done.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
well,
Yes.
and too, a big shout out to your parents as well, just knowing your dream and how to guide you and the balance that it takes, wanting your kids to fly, but also keeping them grounded and giving you that space to dream and to, explore what you felt like God was calling you to do. Again, you have a very special family. We love you guys and your parents and are just super proud.
so part of our team, I guess it segues with your song, Still a Good God, but part of our team says, maybe you should end with Good, Good Father. But do you know how to play that one?
You're a good, good father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are. And I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. You're a good, good father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am.
One more time.
It's who I am. You're a good, good father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am.
This podcast has been sponsored by Cottonwood Creek Church.
And if you enjoyed this episode of the podcast, leave us a 5-star review and don't forget to subscribe.